The coefficient of friction, we'll call it, on this is much lower than it is between the shorts and my. What's up, everybody? It's Jeremy from Berkshire Biking Board, and this is a lightweight bicycle.
13 pounds, 11 ounces. With shop lock, so you touch the shop lock.
He doesn't know.
11 pounds, 6 ounces.
He doesn't know.
He's new. No clue.
Do we include the gummies?
Yes,
Yeah,
gummies gotta get included. It's on the money, 13, 11.
16 pounds, 2 ounces.
Yeah, you were 14
pounds, 10
over.
ounces.
What are these, though?
I'm gonna weigh those after, because I am curious. How light? I'm gonna wait till the end of the video to figure that part out. When you Google lightweight bicycle on the internet, this doesn't come up. You get a million different options of bicycles trying to be the lightest bicycle on the market. And it makes it quite hard to do some research on this particular brand and model of bicycle. But I figured it out. Lightweight is a brand that has gone through many different names and amalgamations and versions and this, that, and the other thing. But I like talking about the past. So here's the very brief history. Two guys in Germany, we'll call it birds of a feather flock together, right? Are working a job, they're craftsmen, and they're making copper reliefs as a type of artwork. And they get along and they're craftsmen and they're talking to each other about it. And another local guy in that part of Germany reaches out to them because he knows they're talented. And he says, you know, hey, I got a racing auto shop and we really need some specific lightweight aerodynamic parts for some of these race cars. Would you guys be interested in trying to make them? We love race cars here at the bike shop. So naturally when I saw this, I got a little bit more intrigued. Two guys look at each other and say, you know what? We like working together. We're kind of crafty. Sure, we'll give it a shot. So they start making these parts for these race cars and things evolve. And the word spreads that there's these two talented craftsmen making parts for race cars. Bring in a fourth guy. This guy approaches them and says, hey, I'm in the bicycle industry and I really need some protective shrouds for kids' bikes to put over the wheels so that their fingers and their hands don't get caught in the wheels. Two guys look at each other and they say, yeah, we'll give that a shot. So they make these and they actually go into production. They make a good amount of them. And a few years later, they're at a local triathlon and all the triathletes have their kids' safety guards stuck to the sides of their wheels for aerodynamic purposes. And with that, Lightweight Bicycles was born. So it's kind of an old school company. And this is a lightweight bicycle, and it's also called a lightweight bicycle or a lightweight erg stall. Essentially what happens is they go into business. And they go into business and they start making wheels because that's where they really feel like the aerodynamic gains can be found. And that's what they were good at. And so one of the founders, Hans Obermeier is his name. He's kind of a blast from the past before the computer era of bike racing. He has this super famous quote, which is basically like, you know, I stick my face next to a wheel and I spin the wheel as fast as I can. And the less air turbulence I feel on my face, the more aerodynamic the wheel is. Not exactly what they do in the wind tunnel testing today, but in a sense, he was doing the same thing before the math and computers did it for us. So pretty cool and just like kind of one of those classic cycling things that I had to shine a light on. So as far as the bike, what's the deal with this? Well, there's a bike shop on the other side of the state of Massachusetts called ATA Cycles, and they have a really kind of niche-y bespoke business where they focus around fits and then they custom build bicycles to fit that person. And it's generally a higher end product. And this bike is right on the mark for ATA. And so basically, if you approach ATA, you give them a budget, you tell them what you're looking for, and they custom build a bike around your wants and needs. And this particular customer was looking for a lightweight bicycle to help them eke out every last bit of performance around the Berkshires, especially with some of the hills. So lightweight was truly at the forefront of the design philosophy for this custom build, and I think they knocked it out of the park. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff showing up on the group rides these days, so it feels important to just highlight it because bikes are cool and this kind of stuff is kind of fun to look at. So a couple other things about the bike real quick to just go through some features. Carbon frame, obviously, lightweight. What's the name of the wheels? Lightweight Mielenstein Evo wheel set. Super fancy wheel set, obviously super aerodynamic. They've won some Tour de France's under the likes of Jan Ullrich and Lance Armstrong. Fun fact about that is like a lot of companies make parts for racers, whether it's downhill racing, road bike racing, or car racing, where like the brand that sponsors the rider maybe doesn't make a product good enough. So they buy basically a part like this. This is a true story. And they put it on their bicycles and they slap a fake brand logo over it. So like, let's say you ride for Trek and you're running NV wheels on your bicycle or something, but the NV wheels aren't good enough for your bike, which probably isn't the case today, but maybe back in the day. You buy some of these and you slap an NV sticker on it. That's kind of how lightweight wheels really became famous, is like all these pro riders were slapping them on their bicycles but they weren't really allowed to put the logos on there. But you know, you get the inside scoop, you get the tea, if you will, and people start figuring it out. And from there, the company has gotten really popular in the past. It's not as popular nowadays, but pretty swanky stuff nonetheless. A couple other things to round out this build. One-piece aero bar and stem, you gotta have it these days if you wanna be one of the cool kids. Ceramic pulley wheels on a DI2 group set. This is a 5034 chainring in the front with an 1134 in the back, which in my opinion is the perfect gear ratio for the Berkshires. Although I am riding a 1x right now, but I do like this setup, and it's what I've always run. And then I think the one thing that everybody is interested in wants to talk about, besides the weight of this bicycle, which we'll get to in the end, is this little interesting jobber here. Now you look at this and you say to yourself, good Lord, how could anyone even sit on that, let alone ride their bike 75 miles on it? Well, it's interesting. Friction is what causes a lot of issues in regards to like being comfortable on a bicycle seat. So if my bike shorts are sticking to my bike seat, that means my bike shorts are rubbing against my leg. The opposite is true here, right? Your cycling clothing is not going to stick against this surface because it's essentially it's smooth. The coefficient of friction, we'll call it, on this is much lower than it is between the shorts and my butt. So your shorts slide along this saddle as you ride. I mean, obviously you want to get somewhat planted in there, but they're going to slide against this, which means they're not going to slide against your leg, which means you're not going to chafe on the undercarriage and you're not going to get saddle sores. Didn't think I was going to talk about that in this video, but we've got there. Anyways, this particular bike is a pretty beautiful specimen of what a custom bike can be. If I was ATA, I would be really proud of this thing. I know the customer is and has really enjoyed it, and we just wanted to kind of shine a light on it. So stick around in the B-roll. We will show the weigh-in, which surprised me, to be honest with you, but I was right on the money with my guess. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, like I always say, round up for distance, round up for time. Thanks for watching.
You gotta get me and Jared arguing. It's the most important part.
16 pounds, 2 ounces.
Yeah, you were 14 pounds, 10 ounces.
James here.
16
Let's
pounds.
go. 16 pounds, 4 ounces. I was 2 ounces off.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It is not. That bike is not 16 pounds.
Okie dokie.
Let's go weigh my bike.
Winner, chicken.
My bike is lighter. That does not make any sense.
Wow, 16 pounds, 1 ounces.